So, I watched the fantastic and marvelous movie Flash, if we are to believe the words of Tom Cruise, Stephen King and Henry Cavill, whose authority diminished in my eyes after their endorsement of the film. But in reality, it turned out to be a huge disappointment for me. The plot revolves around Barry's attempt to save his mother from being murdered and his father from being imprisoned by traveling back in time. He travels back in time at the exact moment when his mother were at a store. He did so to put a can of tomatoes in the cart. Afterward, he encounters another version of himself, takes that version to a laboratory where he gains his superpowers, intending to recreate that moment and grant the other version these abilities, but losing them himself. Trying to fix this, he realizes that by saving his mother, he may cause the deaths of many people. Nevertheless, he decides to at least save his father from imprisonment, thus altering the future where he encounters a different version of Batman played by George Clooney. Due to a lack of original ideas for the plot, the movie relies on three things: action, humor, and fan service. There are time races and lightning flashes from Flash, the classic Batman fight with an array of gadgets and technology, and the flying and laser beams from Supergirl. However, the CGI in the film is terribly awful. For instance, instead of putting characters into scenes properly, they just inserted poorly drawn puppets, which was immediately noticeable. The humor in this movie is on point. Constantly finding himself in tricky situations due to his own inexperience, Barry consistently cracks jokes, reminding me of Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man. The Flash's costume, adapted from an old Batman suit, is worth mentioning. And most importantly, the fan service. Nowadays, no one is surprised by authors trying to appeal to nostalgia. However, hardly any DC Comics fan can resist when they are shown multiple versions of superheroes, including old-school variants. The authors even fulfilled Nicolas Cage's dream by putting him in a red cape, the one he hoped to wear in Tim Burton's cancelled Superman from the late 90s. And it would have been cool if it had been the real Nicolas Cage, not just his drawn replica. The lead actor, Ezra Miller, has become a controversial figure due to his mental instability. However, it was perhaps precisely the thing that made him fit well into the role, as Barry Allen also struggles with socialization and has a chaotic mind.
The tomatoes moved from the bottom shelf to the top shelf and subsequently uncooked the spaghetti.
The actor managed to portray his character as someone who hasn't fully become a superhero yet and is just a young person with superpowers trying to help others. Scenes after the credits, where Barry is seen drinking at a bar with Aquaman, hint at a continuation, although they don't reveal anything specific, or at least something that could be intriguing. However, even if we overlook all the flaws, there is nothing in this movie that would leave a pleasant aftertaste. Feel free to leave your comments and remember to hit that subscribe button.